Hello, I'm Dick Hellman, back again from CIPAC, the Christian lobby, the registered lobby for a strong pro-Israel stance on Capitol Hill and across America, and Merkel, our Middle East Research Center Limited, which is the 501c3 tax-deductible organization that does research and supports CIPAC. Now, I'm here to follow up on what we said last week. This is summertime. This is vacation time. Everybody has a lot on their plate, and they're traveling all over and hopefully enjoying themselves a bit and watching the coming elections for 2016 for president. But this is a time of national security emergency, as I said last week, and frankly, we have to pray that our president get turned around so that he fully supports our national security. Last September, there was a powerful meeting I attended at which there was a special prayer for our president and for all of our military, intelligence, and security officials by name. And a part of that, and I can send you a copy of the little booklet of that prayer that was prayed that night, but what happened was we prayed that the president would get the right national security advisor, not the person by name, but the right person to advise him on the way to save America from destruction by nuclear weapons, and that he would accept that advice. And that is still our prayer, and we work toward that end, and we encourage everyone to pray and also to send messages to the White House and to the Pentagon and to their members of Congress to say, we must save America from nuclear destruction. Why do I say that? No one in the news, no one in the media thinks that we are at threat from imminent nuclear destruction, but I'm telling you that we are. Not just thousands of missiles are pointed at us from Russia, from China, from North Korea, and perhaps other places, but we have paved the path for Iran to develop nuclear warheads for the ICBMs, the long-range intercontinental ballistic missiles that they are continuing to develop without any limitation, without any restriction. And we have paved the way to their developing these ultimate weapons through the negotiations in Vienna that produced the Iran nuclear weapons deal that was sent to Capitol Hill, the deal that must be approved or voted down by the Congress by September 17th. And I'm urging you to tell your senators and your representatives, be they Republicans or Democrats, that this is a matter of the utmost urgency and criticality for them as the legislative branch of the government, an independent body not subservient to the President or the Secretary of State. You tell your senators and your representatives for me that the President and the Secretary of State have shown complete disrespect and contempt for the Congress by sending that agreement to the UN Security Council and getting it approved in a formal Section 7 UN Security Council resolution that binds America before taking that agreement to the Congress. And now the President wants to have the Congress not only not approve not only if the Congress does not approve that agreement, the President is counting on the Congress not to have a majority on the bill which can override a veto. So this is a bit of technical legislative policy that you need to understand, but this is why we need every Republican to vote against this bill and enough Democrats to vote against this bill that there's a veto-proof majority against this terrible agreement, this bad agreement that has been negotiated with Iran, this agreement that paves the way to nuclear weapons for Iran. And also, as I've said, we need to send a message to the President and to the Secretary of State. They have to go back to the table, and this time, not just the nuclear weapons, but the ICBMs, the long-range nuclear missiles have to be on the table. Complete verification and enforcement of Iran's complete elimination of its nuclear capability for weapons needs to be established, but also we need to deal with Iran's threats to genocide, these jihadist threats of genocide against Israel and against America. And we need to have Iran stop its spread of terrorism throughout the Middle East and the world, stop supporting vile, brutal dictators like Bashar al-Assad of Syria, and stop imprisoning our Americans. 4 or more Americans are imprisoned, and they need to be released, and Iran needs to reform its judiciary and its respect for human rights so that it is a real democracy with full rights of expression, free assembly, and all the other rights that are normal in international practice. And how can we do that? I promised you that I would tell you that this can be accomplished. This is not impossible. This is not a fantasy, as some have said. It is realistic, proven ways of getting the attention of the Ayatollahs of Iran and the President of Iran, focusing them on agreeing to a better, more comprehensive agreement with the U.S. and the P5+1. What are those means? They're the same proven means that brought down the Soviet Union, as President Reagan called it, the evil empire. They are, of course, the Jackson-Vanik Amendment, which said no normal trade with America. And that's as much as saying that's no normal trade with the world until you mend your ways and start observing law and international norms. Second, the whole Helsinki Treaty process, complete intrusive inspections and complete reporting. And obviously, we're not getting that from Iran, but we must have it. And third, and most important, complete anti-ballistic missile defenses, not just for America from shore to shore, from Atlantic to Pacific, and from the Canadian border to the Mexican border and beyond, but for all our bases all over the world and for all our allies, including in the Middle East and including in Central Europe. This will not only send a strong signal to the Grand Ayatollah and the President of Iran and all of these other brutal officials of that vile regime, but it will also send a message to Russia, to China, and to others who don't mean us well, but instead mean us harm, that we are still the strongest, most vital democracy on earth. We are a force to be reckoned with, and they had better stop pushing us around, as all of them have tried to do. This is a strong message, but these are terrible times. We are under a national security alert. I am telling you that, and no one else has told you that. But not only are missiles pointed at us from Russia and China, but they are pointed at us from Iran, or soon will be, and they also will have nuclear tips on them, as the North Korean missiles do. So I need you to go to your senators and your representatives, make appointments to meet with them either in Washington, D.C. on the 8th, 9th, or 10th of September, or to meet in their district offices now or at that time. Go to their town hall meetings, talk to them while they're in August recess and they're in the home office in the district or in the state where you live. But we must do this. And also I need you to renew your membership in CIPAC at cipaconline.org and to give the most generous contribution you can to Merkle.org, MERCL.org. And the latter one, of course, for that you get a tax deductible, you get a tax deduction from your federal taxes because that's the 501c3. But I need to do this because I need to raise the funds and assemble all the weapons that we need to lobby Congress now while they're at home in the district, the state near you, and also in September when we're in the final push to get a veto-proof majority against this Iran nuclear deal and send a strong message to the administration that they need to redo it. This time they have to do it right, and to show them how to do it with proven means that brought down the Soviet Union and ended the Cold War. A strong message for strong times, but between you and me, we can do it. We shall overcome. Thanks much. We'll talk next week.